Training legs is a necessary evil of getting strong and staying fit. Now, I especially have a love-hate relationship with doing any kind of leg workout because of just the way my frame is built. So I'm 5'8", and so not the tallest guy, and my legs are the shortest part of my body. And I think just in terms of that, my stature, my legs look big comparatively to maybe what they actually are, especially in my glutes. I know it's about, you will never see me directly training my glutes. And it's one of those running jokes I have with women, if ever I'm going to enter in a relationship with them, is they just have to concede the fact that my glutes are always going to look better than theirs, unfortunately. But I thought I'd take you through my workout here today, guys, and you will see these are all power, strength-based reps and sets, meaning I never do volume with legs, never do volume. I'm training my nervous system, I'm training my power, I'm training my strength. Now, this is okay if your legs are already a decent size. They may not be. I, for one, don't believe there is any worse pain in training than doing volume on legs, right? If I have to do 6 sets of 12 repetitions on squats, that's going to be a bad day. That's going to be not just a bad day, it's going to be a bad tomorrow and a bad day after that, okay? So I'm always doing power-based stuff with legs and trying to minimize the growth factor, really. I know that might sound silly, but that's just the way I like my physique to look. I do think I need to do a bit more development on my calves. It's just an area that I've, naturally not had that's quite large in comparison to my quads and my glutes. And perhaps I'll do a little bit more work later on sharing you that. But let's talk more directly about squats. Squats, I've always done squats. Deadlifts is an area that you'll see in a moment that I'm, again, love-hate relationship with them. But I think you learn to love squats. You learn to love squats. It's a satisfying feeling when you can move a little bit more weight. This wasn't a particularly heavy day. I was just getting into the movement of things. I've just invested in a belt, which I haven't been using a belt for many, many years because I really wanted to get core activation. I had a real back problem when I first started squatting that certainly held me back and has always been a little point of fear for me in going heavy because I was out for quite a while with some muscular imbalances. So I'm more just trying to make these look pretty. I'm trying to make these squats look very, very pretty. I'm trying to focus on the movement. You'll notice that my load up or my warm up to the squats is always the same because I'm trying to get my nervous system into a pattern of doing things to the way it's almost on autopilot. And it's, again, a habit. You just go through. So I lift up the bar, I go right foot, left foot, a little bit wider in the stance, actually quite a narrow stance, and I try and sit on my ankles and push up through the heels, activate glutes and quads. My grip here is quite narrow. One mistake I had to rectify with flaring of the elbows backwards. You actually want to be pushing up on the bar as well because it helps the direction you're going in just by giving a little bit of tricep, shoulder, chest activation, moving upwards. So it gives you that intention to kind of push through past those sticking points. So I believe this is the last set here of squats, and this was purely a squat day and a deadlift day, so all power and strength based. I think I've got a little bit of a lower angle here to show you. The belt I only use when I'm going above 100 kilograms, which I believe is like 225 for the Americans. Because again, I want to make sure my core is working here. I don't want to get reliant on the belt to where I'm getting no core activation and I'm getting lazy. And again, I'm really just trying to focus on making these look very, very pretty. High bar squat is my favorite. I used to do low bar squat, which means the torso is slightly forward and the barbell is resting on the scapula, the rear delts. But I've always found that I get more activation in my glutes there. And glutes, again, is not an area I'm really trying to develop. High bar, I feel I get more activation in the quadriceps more than any others. So I transition over here to deadlifts, guys, and I'm not going to lie to you, deadlifts are the weakest lift that I have. I've never deadlifted regularly, and I've said on previous videos, I know, as an exercise physiologist, I know how important deadlifts are. They may be the most important exercise of all. So perhaps this can be something we're learning to kind of do together. If you haven't deadlifted consistently, maybe you can join me in this little experiment. I really think my back is going to blow up here. Especially my lower back, which has always been a weak area for me and a point of injury, actually. So I'm going light. I'm going 5 repetitions, 5 sets here, and I'm just focusing on the movement. I'm really trying to be a form demon here, which I know not a lot of people like. I'm really just trying to focus on queuing up right. I was getting these wrong, actually. I was using more extension of the back as opposed to driving with my legs, which is where all your power is. You know, when you think comparatively, the extensors of the back, you've got erector spinae, you've got lats as well, okay, but the legs, you know, you've got glutes, you've got quads, hamstrings are going to come into play somewhat in this movement, but you can see here it's really a hip hinge. I'm getting past the knees and all hinging. I really want to be driving through my heels more here, and I only figured that out in set 3, 4, so I did another one. What's really important for me to convey, guys, as somebody who has been training for a while, is some of my training days are terrible. I'm not feeling it, I'm not getting the movement, I'm not activating the muscles that I want. Maybe I'm distracted, maybe I'm hungry, maybe I'm tired, maybe I'm stressed, whatever the case may be is. But once I get the movement right, I'll add another 2 sets. I'm not afraid to go 7 sets, 8 sets, 9 sets, because I'm actually feeling the connection I want with the muscles or with the movement. And again, I didn't even think it was this set I was really getting it. I was still getting a lot of lower back, and I wasn't getting as much chest activation, leg activation as I kind of wanted there. It might be this last one here. But it's always a trial and error with this. Always, it's always problem solving. It's always problem solving. What do you guys think of sumo squats? Are they cheating? I heard Jeff Nippard do a little bit on that a couple of months ago, or maybe years ago. Conventional, I've always found because a better exercise because you get more range of motion and more opportunities to activate, hamstring, essentially, especially on the eccentric part of the movement when you're putting the weight down. I'm not doing a very good job here about putting the weight down and more dropping it. I want more control on that. Hamstrings is an area that I'm certainly trying to develop. I think I maybe only get 3 here. No, I go for 4 and 5. Very nice. I think this is 130 kilograms. Not sure how much of that is in pounds for the Americans. But you can see here, I don't know if you can see, but this is a mistake I see a lot of people make, and something that I made, is this little movement here, right? This movement to, right? You see the lats flare. The lats flare, the back straightens. So I'm taking all the slack out the bar, and then I'm trying to push with the heels down, yeah? That movement there is critical. I call it the pre-pull, right? You pull before you pull. And it just gives you structure, it gives you that frame to work with, it gives you stability, it gives you confidence. And that strong foundation to really push with confidence into. One of the exercises I'm starting to integrate a little bit more are RDLs with dumbbells, because hamstrings, posterior chain, has been a big weakness of my movement patterns. So I'm doing, again, a lot of hip hinging with emphasis on the hamstring kind of area here. And again, I'm now that I look back in this, I'm really dropping this with not a lot of control here. Yeah. 3 sets with that. I was a little bit pissed off. So gentlemen, that's my squat and deadlift video. I'm interested to know your experience with the squat and the deadlift. If you had to pick one, which one would it be and why? And I don't know if maybe you have the same reaction I have with the deadlifts. It's just something that never really stuck with me very, very consistently. What are your objectives with legs? Do you want big, bulky quads, glutes? Do you want the belly of the hamstring hanging off your femur? Let me know what your goals are for your legs, and hopefully I'll see you in another video where we can get more on this trend of training and building that masculine physique. Speak soon.